Hello and welcome to Radiobook, where books transform lives. Join us for audiobooks, reviews, and motivation. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss all future uploads. This is the book by Dr. MYLES Munroe titled In Charge. Let's dive in. Part 1. Destined to Serve and Lead the Paradox. 1. I'm in charge, the battery and the wire. Who's got the power? Every individual possesses a unique gift that they are meant to share with humanity. This gift, akin to a car's battery in a vehicle, holds the power to ignite change and drive progress. Often overlooked, the seemingly insignificant terminal wire plays a crucial role in connecting the battery to the engine, enabling the entire system to function. Just like the terminal wire, each person's contribution, no matter how small it may seem, is indispensable. In the grand scheme of things, a car comprises tens of thousands of parts, yet it's the modest $10 wire that can render the entire vehicle immobile if missing. Similarly, in life, our worth isn't determined by external factors, but by the unique gifts we possess and the contributions we make. Each individual component of a car, like each person, holds a leadership role in its own right. Leadership isn't confined to a select few but is inherent in each of us, as we all have the power to influence and make a difference in our own domains. Contrary to traditional notions of leadership reserved for a privileged few, true leadership lies in recognizing and nurturing our inherent gifts and using them to serve others. Just as the terminal wire's value lies in its function rather than its size or cost, our worth is defined by the gifts we offer to the world. We all have a leadership role to fulfill, guided by our unique talents and abilities. Ultimately, we are all in charge of our own destinies, and each of us holds the power to affect change and make a difference. Entitled, Born to Lead, Prepared to Serve, the essence of this text is about recognizing and embracing one's leadership potential. It emphasizes the importance of self-discovery, passion, and service in realizing one's innate ability to lead and make a positive impact on the world. It starts by challenging the common belief that only a select few are destined for leadership roles, highlighting the pervasive societal conditioning that undermines individual potential. The analogy of each person being akin to a star in a galaxy underscores the uniqueness and inherent brilliance within everyone, despite societal pressures that may dim that light. The text stresses the significance of discovering one's passion and gift as the pathway to leadership. It suggests that true leadership is about nurturing and sharing this unique gift with the world, emphasizing the concept of servant leadership as exemplified by the author's mentor, Oral Roberts. Furthermore, it shares the author's personal journey of self-discovery and learning, highlighting the transformative power of education and mentorship. Despite humble beginnings, the author found inspiration in Roberts' example of overcoming obstacles and serving others. In essence, the text encourages readers to believe in their leadership potential, pursue their passions, and serve others with compassion and dedication, echoing the sentiment that true leadership stems from within and is driven by a genuine desire to improve the lives of others. Establishing a strong ground. During my pursuit of a graduate degree, I delved into various leadership theories, even though I felt they were lacking. Upon returning home, I immersed myself in studying leadership while working for the government. My upbringing, deeply rooted in the scriptures, shaped my perspective on self-worth and service. My parents, Matthias and Louise, epitomized selflessness, always sharing what little we had with others. Inspired by their example, I began my public ministry at a young age, advocating for the value of humanity, influenced by the teachings of Jesus Christ. As an adult, I founded a Bible study group, which evolved into the Bahamas Faith Ministries International, now one of the largest churches in the islands. Through this ministry, my message reaches millions worldwide via direct outreach, books, and broadcasts in over 87 countries. Additionally, I've authored numerous books, translated into 21 languages, and speak at hundreds of events annually, traveling extensively to share insights on leadership with diverse audiences. Throughout my journey, my guide and inspiration remain Jesus Christ, whose teachings emphasize the essence of servant leadership. To lead is to serve. Dedicated to serving. My father epitomizes servant leadership in its truest form. Throughout his life, he devoted himself to serving others, particularly our family of 11 siblings and our mother. His commitment to my mother over their 51 years of marriage left a profound impression on me. He tirelessly worked to uplift us, never seeking personal gain. Even outside the home, as a lay minister in the church, his desire to serve extended to the community. Even now, at the age of 83, he continues to preach in churches nationwide and offer assistance to those in need. During World War II, he served in an auxiliary capacity for the Royal Air Force of the British Empire, aiding aircraft operations in the Bahamas. Despite never seeing active combat, his service earned him a pension from the British government. As one of the last surviving members of his group, he now leads and oversees their affairs, ensuring they receive their pensions. Despite his age, he diligently visits them, even those in low-income areas, to deliver their checks and offer support. My father's unwavering commitment to service is truly inspiring. He never sought leadership roles but focused solely on serving others. When I ask him why he continues to work tirelessly, he simply replies that he must care for his comrades and ensure they have what they need to live. Despite his age, he remains the healthiest and most active among them, perhaps because of his dedication to serving others. His embodiment of servant leadership illustrates its inherent fulfillment. He finds satisfaction in his actions, and now, in his later years, he reaps the rewards of his lifelong commitment to service. Above all else, leadership is about service. According to the teachings of Jesus Christ, a leader is fundamentally a servant to others. How does one achieve leadership through service? It's straightforward, by sharing your gift with the world. When you discover your gift and offer it to others, you attain greatness. Jesus emphasized that greatness arises from serving your gift and sharing yourself with the world, not from having others serve you. True leadership involves unleashing and utilizing your own abilities rather than relying on the efforts of others. Whatever talent or gift you possess isn't meant to be hoarded but to be shared with the world. It's a gift from a higher power, and it's your responsibility to pass it on. Servant leadership means constantly utilizing your gift whenever the opportunity arises, distributing yourself to benefit your generation. To embody servant leadership, one must be willing to serve their gift in every situation. Don't wait until you've achieved greatness to start serving. Don't delay until you've earned a degree, gained a title, or received a promotion. Instead, seize every opportunity to serve, whether it's cleaning, making tea, organizing, operating equipment, singing, or even gardening. If you aspire to greatness, you must first serve your gift selflessly, without expecting payment. Offer your service voluntarily. It's perplexing to encounter individuals fresh out of school demanding payment for their services. To them, I say, you're not even proficient in your craft yet, and you want to charge? You'd be better off finding a mentor who would let you even stand on stage or carry equipment. 3. Why lead? A world in need of direction. The power of self. Recently, at an airport security check, I experienced an unusual request to loosen my belt, a precaution against potential threats. Even my wife faces strict limitations on what she can carry on board. These measures reflect a global atmosphere of fear and uncertainty, underscoring the urgent need for competent, effective, and spirit-driven leadership in today's world. In this era of constant turmoil, nations continually seek leaders who will genuinely improve the lives of their people. However, elections often yield disappointing results, with leaders exhibiting flawed characters, abusing power, and lacking innovative solutions to pressing issues. The search for authentic leadership persists, epitomized by the extensive and increasingly tumultuous election processes, particularly in the United States. This leadership vacuum isn't unique to one country, it spans the globe, affecting both developed and developing nations. Citizens everywhere long for trustworthy, visionary leaders across all sectors, from government to business to education to religion. The call for leadership is urgent, and it extends to each one of us. Throughout history, in times of darkness and despair, we've looked to leaders to guide us through adversity. Whether biblical figures like Moses and Esther or modern icons like Teddy Roosevelt and Nelson Mandela, visionary leaders have shaped our collective destiny. Today's challenges demand not just human wisdom but leadership that transcends earthly limitations. We require leadership that taps into a higher wisdom, offering innovative solutions to complex problems. I firmly believe that if every individual embraced and maximized their inherent leadership potential, the world's needs could be met. Each person is born with a unique contribution to make, and by recognizing our own value and acknowledging the contributions of others, we can collectively address the world's challenges. Unfortunately, many people remain unaware of their leadership potential, leading to wasted talent and unfulfilled destinies. Servant leadership offers a powerful philosophy, one that asserts that every individual is born to lead, with the ability to make a difference in their area of expertise. Yet, despite this inherent potential, many will never realize their leadership capabilities, choosing instead to remain followers. It's crucial to identify and nurture our giftedness to fulfill our purpose and leave a lasting impact on the world. Leadership isn't just a historical legacy, it's our destiny. Each of us is uniquely designed to meet specific needs on Earth, and by embracing our leadership roles, we can contribute to a better future for all. 4. Who is the greatest? The servant leader. Every individual arrives on this earth bearing something essential for humanity's progress. The desire for greatness resides within each person, driving their actions and decisions. While many may deny this desire, often masking it with claims of humility, the truth remains that most aspire for recognition and admiration. The conventional definition of greatness, rooted in fame, wealth, or achievement, needs re-evaluation in today's society. True greatness, exemplified by historical figures like Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, and Albert Einstein, emerges from the discovery, development, and sharing of one's unique gift with the world. Notably, these individuals didn't seek greatness but rather focused on serving their gift to benefit humanity. Greatness isn't about seeking popularity or power, it stems from the impact and significance one brings to others' lives through their gift. This book aims to explore this concept, highlighting that every individual possesses a unique gift, rendering them potentially great. Jesus Christ, often regarded as one of the greatest leaders in history, taught his disciples about greatness through service and humility. His timeless lessons on leadership continue to resonate, emphasizing the importance of serving one's gift to the world. The lesson in Capernaum. While traveling to Capernaum from Galilee, Jesus overheard his disciples arguing about who among them was the greatest. Upon reaching their destination, he confronted them about their dispute. Despite their reluctance to confess, Jesus gathered them together and imparted a crucial lesson on greatness. Jesus emphasized that true greatness lies in serving others. He rebuked their desire for superiority, highlighting that seeking greatness through exploiting others or seeking personal advantage was misguided. He referenced previous instances where his disciples had attempted to gain prominence through self-serving means, such as James and John's request for positions of honor in his kingdom. Jesus clarified that the desire for greatness itself is not condemned. Instead, it is the wrongful methods employed to achieve it that are rebuked. He encouraged his disciples to pursue greatness in a manner aligned with serving others and upholding moral principles. The desire for greatness is inherent in human nature and serves as a driving force for personal growth and achievement. It inspires individuals to pursue purpose and meaning in their lives, fueling progress and innovation. Therefore, the aspiration for greatness, when coupled with humility and ethical conduct, is commendable and essential for human development. Here's how to achieve greatness. In my youth, the idea of greatness was often discouraged. Messages from various sources, including the church, my foreign teacher, and even my own parents, seemed to imply that greatness was unattainable or undeserving. But then Jesus came along with a different perspective, affirming that greatness was within reach for anyone willing to serve. Jesus taught that greatness is achieved through service. He didn't condemn the desire for greatness, instead, he provided a pathway to achieve it. This might seem surprising to some, given the common perception of Jesus as meek and humble. However, his teachings reveal that greatness is not about dominance or control, but about serving others. When Jesus addressed his disciples, he acknowledged their desire for greatness and showed them how to attain it. He made it clear that greatness was not limited to a select few but was accessible to everyone. His message was revolutionary, shifting the concept of leadership from power and privilege to service and humility. In essence, Jesus said, "If you want to be great, serve others." This principle of servant leadership was central to his teachings and distinguished his approach from other philosophies of leadership. Jesus emphasized the importance of identifying, developing, and serving one's unique gift to the world as the key to greatness. Even when compared to the theories of renowned thinkers like Plato and Peter Drucker, Jesus' teachings on leadership stand out. His emphasis on serving others and maximizing one's gift transcends traditional notions of leadership based on authority or control. By viewing Jesus as a philosopher rather than solely as the Son of God, we can analyze and appreciate the brilliance of his leadership principles. His message of servant leadership continues to inspire and guide individuals seeking to achieve greatness in their own lives. Challenging traditional perspectives. The leadership concept introduced by Jesus is so revolutionary that it requires a fundamental shift in how we perceive leadership. Instead of the traditional idea where followers serve leaders, Jesus flips the script, emphasizing that leaders should serve the world. His leadership philosophy challenges the norms of contemporary leadership. Conventionally, greatness or leadership is often measured by factors like how many people one controls, how many subordinates one has, or how much influence one wields. It's about being served, admired, and feared. However, Jesus offers a different perspective. He emphasizes that true leadership is not about being served, but about serving others. According to Jesus, the measure of leadership lies in how many people you serve, not how many serve you. He values humility and service over authority and control. His model of leadership prioritizes selflessness and compassion. In essence, Jesus exemplified this principle by stating that he came not to be served, but to serve, offering his life as a sacrifice for others. This idea challenges the conventional notions of leadership and highlights the importance of serving others as the true mark of leadership. The youngest leads. Jesus introduces a groundbreaking idea, stating, "I'm bringing in a new approach to leadership. The greatest among you should be like the youngest." He shifts the focus from traditional notions of leadership, where followers serve leaders, to a model where leaders serve the world. In this seminar with his disciples, Jesus changes the terminology, moving from a servant to the youngest. Reflecting on my own experience as the youngest in a family of 11 siblings, I recall how the youngest is often called upon to do various tasks. Even today, I find myself serving my elder brothers and sisters who are actively involved in leadership roles within our community. They exemplify servant leadership, dedicating themselves to helping others without seeking recognition. Jesus highlights that true greatness lies in service. According to him, one is considered great when others consistently rely on them. The busiest individuals are often the most capable because they know how to get things done. Conversely, those who shy away from responsibility rarely achieve greatness. Jesus essentially advises, to be the greatest, emulate the youngest who serves. If you want to hold a position of authority, focus on serving others consistently. Organizations value individuals who are proactive and reliable. When they don't call on you, it signals a problem. The Bible underscores the importance of one's gift, which can open doors to opportunities and bring them before influential figures. Like Joseph in the Old Testament, who was summoned by Pharaoh for his gift of dream interpretation, individuals are recognized and sought after for their unique abilities. Ultimately, it's not people who make you great, but your gift. By effectively serving your gift to the world, you elevate your significance and impact on others. Leadership in today's world. Since the time of Jesus, no one, whether philosopher, professor, or ideology, has presented an idea that surpasses his concept of serving humanity rather than seeking to be served by it. In the contemporary landscape, there's a pressing need for every college to incorporate courses on servant leadership. Today's leaders must revisit Jesus' teachings on leadership. Unfortunately, many corporate leaders prioritize serving their own interests over the well-being of their communities. For companies to truly thrive, they should aim not just to be great, but to be serving entities. Instead of solely focusing on profit margins, CEOs should shift their perspective to how they can better serve their customers. By prioritizing customer satisfaction, organizations can naturally evolve into great entities within their generation. The downfall of any organization occurs when leaders prioritize personal gain over serving the market they're meant to serve. When corporate heads become more concerned with their own benefits and salaries than with fulfilling the company's original purpose of providing value to customers, the organization loses its way. In the 21st century, the timeless concept of servant leadership introduced by Jesus remains desperately needed. Defective leadership often relies on authority to control people, with leaders claiming to act in the people's best interests while actually using them for personal gain. Such leaders may even justify their actions by claiming to be benefactors, despite exploiting others for their own benefit. The traditional leadership model, which exploits followers for the benefit of the rulers, is still prevalent today. Many leaders use intimidation tactics, manipulate fears, and threaten to maintain control, all at the expense of those they're meant to serve. This is not true leadership, it's exploitation and manipulation. How would Jesus lead? Jesus was born into a Roman colony, subject to one of the most powerful imperial governments in history. His response to oppression under such authority was servant leadership. He taught that rather than seeking to be served, we should focus on serving others. He used the example of the Roman Empire to illustrate the consequences of a government that fails to serve its people. Jesus emphasized that true leadership is about serving others, not being served. If Jesus were to return today, it's likely he would distance himself from many who claim to represent him. He would challenge systems of control and manipulation that dominate humanity. The situation today mirrors that of 2,000 years ago, with multiple powerful entities prioritizing self-interest over service to others. Jesus would likely question which governments, corporations, schools, and churches genuinely prioritize the well-being of the people they serve. He would emphasize that true leadership involves serving others, not lording over them. Understanding the principles. Combining the terms servant and a leader may seem contradictory, but it aligns with Jesus' teachings. Through my studies, I've distilled 7 principles of leadership based on Jesus' concepts. 1. Leadership is predetermined, not based on personal preference. Each person has a predetermined place of leadership designed for them by God. 2. Leadership is a prepared position. God has already set aside a place for each individual, tailored to their unique gifts and abilities. 3. Leadership demands a price. Achieving one's leadership position requires sacrifice, training, and development. 4. Leadership is inherent. Every individual is born with leadership potential, but whether they develop it is up to them. 5. Leadership is a divine deposit. Each person's leadership gift is already deposited within them by God. 6. Leadership is not for oneself, but for others. Leadership is about serving others with the gifts one has been given. 7. Leadership is about becoming oneself for the benefit of others. True leadership involves self-discovery and using one's gifts to serve others. By embracing these principles, individuals can fulfill their leadership potential and positively impact the world around them. Part 2. The 7 Principles of Servant Leadership. Principle 1. Predetermined, not a preference. 5. This is my spot, go. Find yours. The story of the highway and the Buddhist temple illustrates the idea that everyone has a predetermined place in life. When the temple was relocated, the workers discovered a pure gold Buddha statue hidden beneath the clay. This reveals that true potential often lies hidden until one finds their rightful place. Similarly, leaders are born when they discover their inner gifts and find where they belong. Just as the gold Buddha remained hidden until it was moved, our true potential remains untapped until we connect with our designated spot. This process may involve shedding old identities and concepts that no longer serve us. Each person has a unique place in the universe, but many spend their lives in the wrong job or situation, causing chronic stress. Stress, fueled by hormones like adrenaline, takes a toll on health and well-being. Whether it's dissatisfaction with work or seeking refuge from home life, many people experience constant stress due to being in the wrong place. Finding one's spot means aligning with the role one was meant to play in the world. Failure to do so leads to stress and dissatisfaction, ultimately impacting health and longevity. Therefore, discovering and occupying our rightful place is crucial for a fulfilling and healthy life. In my Father's house. The opposite of stress is peace, a state where one can thrive and flourish. Imagine earning a livelihood simply by being at peace, entering into a realm of tranquility every day. This concept aligns with God's original plan for humanity, as He is often referred to as the Prince of Peace. My aim is to guide you toward finding this inner home, a place of profound alignment and fulfillment. When Jesus addressed his disciples before his departure, they were concerned about their status and greatness. In response, he reassured them, saying, "Do not be troubled. In my Father's house, there are many places of authority." The term mansion used in some translations is better understood as rooms or places. Jesus emphasized that he was preparing a specific place for each of them, tailored to their unique calling and authority. Being in one's rightful place is essential for fulfillment and effectiveness. When individuals are out of alignment with their purpose and gifting, they experience inner turmoil and discontent. However, when they discover and occupy their designated spot, they can operate at their maximum potential, like a screw fitting perfectly into its corresponding nut or the final piece of a puzzle finding its place. For me, engaging in leadership discussions, writing about it, and reflecting on it is where I feel most at home. It's my zone of destiny, where I find true joy and fulfillment. Discovering and embracing one's spot is a beautiful journey, as God has uniquely designed a place for each individual to thrive and make a meaningful impact. Let's step out of the rat race mentality. Winning in that race only means becoming the biggest rat. Instead of competing with others, focus on competing with yourself. Evaluate your performance in your leadership role and strive for self-improvement. Just like a battery and a spark plug in an engine, each person has a unique role to play without needing to compete with others. You occupy a specific place in the world that no one else can fill. Jesus emphasized servant leadership, believing that everyone possesses leadership potential. Jealousy often stems from the fear of someone taking what we perceive as rightfully ours. But when we understand that each person has their own designated spot and gifting, jealousy fades away. Your success doesn't diminish mine, and vice versa. Let's embrace our unique roles and gifts, leaving behind jealousy, competition, and suspicion. When you confidently claim your spot, you'll realize that no one can take it from you because it's meant for you and you alone. God has a plan for each of us, a specific spot where our gifts and abilities align perfectly. Even James and John, among Jesus' closest companions, couldn't claim the positions they desired because God determines leadership roles, not personal preferences. When you're in your designated spot, your talents flourish, and you feel alive. Stress and burnout often indicate being in the wrong place. Trying to fit into someone else's spot only leads to frustration and exhaustion because it's not designed for you. Being out of place not only affects you but also disrupts the entire organization or community. It's like being a virus in the system, causing dysfunction and discomfort. Recognizing people's unique gifts and placing them accordingly is essential for harmony and productivity. History provides numerous examples of individuals who suffered when they deviated from their intended paths, from Adam and Lot to Jonah and even Hitler. True leadership involves serving others and valuing human life. When leaders prioritize the well-being of those they lead, everyone benefits. What a fantastic deal it is to be in your leadership spot, where your gifts align perfectly with your passion and purpose. Just like Tiger Woods, who lives and breathes golf, finding joy in every swing, we thrive when we're immersed in what we love. Our gifts aren't just for us, they're for the world to enjoy, just as Tiger's game delights millions. When we serve our gifts, wealth comes naturally because we're being ourselves and doing what we love. Imagine being like a bird, effortlessly soaring through the sky because that's what it's meant to do. Similarly, when we're in our spot, our energy is boundless, and we can keep going without exhaustion. Others are drawn to us because we're offering something unique and valuable, whether it's in business, art, or any other field. Jesus emphasized that our spots are already prepared by a higher power, tailored to our individual gifts and callings. When we're in that spot, work becomes a joy, just like Drew Carey embracing his role on The Price is Right. He finds fulfillment in bringing joy to others, just as D.L. Hughley does through comedy. Leadership isn't about titles, it's about function. Respect comes naturally when we're fulfilling our purpose, and people seek us out for our unique contributions. Disrespect, on the other hand, stems from ignorance of our function and value. So, let's shake off the clay and step into our rightful leadership spots, where we can thrive and make a difference in the world. 6. Who died and left you in charge? The Dominion Mandate. Principle 2. A prepared position. The essence of leadership lies in serving one's own unique gifts rather than dominating over others. At a recent seminar, a participant raised a question about the concept of everyone being a leader but not necessarily having dominion over people. I clarified that each person is meant to excel in their area of gifting, which naturally attracts others. The focus should be on nurturing and utilizing one's gift rather than seeking power over individuals. Humans, both men and women, were bestowed with the responsibility to exercise dominion over the Earth's resources and creatures, not over fellow human beings. Dominion implies governing, controlling, and managing the natural world, a task entrusted to humanity by the Creator. The ancient scriptures depict the origins of leadership as rooted in the divine purpose of extending the king's influence on earth through his children. Just as citizens of a kingdom are subjects to royalty, all humanity is considered part of the royal family in the Creator's kingdom. Genesis recounts how humanity was created in the image and likeness of the king to rule over the earth and its inhabitants. This royal mandate applies collectively to mankind, empowering them to govern the various realms of the planet. The Creator's intention was for humans to co-rule alongside him, impacting the earth with their will and purpose. This divine partnership reflects the overarching theme of the Bible, the establishment of the King's kingdom on earth through his children. Humanity's authority extends over the natural world, including the fish, birds, animals, plants, and reptiles. However, humans were never intended to dominate each other. Instead, they were commanded to exercise stewardship over the earth. The dominion mandate entails utilizing one's gifts to serve the world, fulfilling the Creator's purpose on earth. Servant leadership, as exemplified by Jesus, emphasizes serving others with one's gifts rather than seeking power or control. To fulfill the dominion mandate, individuals must first identify their unique domain or sphere of influence on earth. By serving their gifts to the world, they establish their authority and make a positive impact on their environment. Discovering and serving one's gift is the key to success and fulfillment, as it opens doors of opportunity and brings individuals into prominence. Education and connections are valuable, but they cannot replace the power of one's gift in shaping their destiny and influencing the world. The master plan. You might wonder, if everyone is meant to lead, who will follow? The scriptures outline a concept of collective human leadership, emphasizing a kingdom of kings ruling over the earth rather than individuals dominating others. This vision entails corporate kingship, where everyone plays a leadership role within their area of influence. In the book of Exodus, the Creator conveyed to the Israelites that if they obeyed him, they would become a treasured possession and a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. This declaration wasn't exclusive to the Israelites but applied to all peoples, showcasing the Creator's original plan for humanity. Prophet Daniel later recorded the Creator's enduring plan for his offspring to govern, signifying a future where sovereignty and eternal kingdom would be granted to the people of the Most High. This depicts a kingdom of rulers worshiping and governing under the ultimate king. Understanding one's prepared position involves recognizing 5 principles. 1. Every individual is designed for leadership and dominion, possessing the capacity to influence a specific domain on earth. 2. Hidden within every follower is a latent leader waiting to be discovered. Many remain unaware of their leadership potential until they recognize and embrace their true identity. 3. Leadership potential exists within every person, irrespective of societal notions about who can be a leader. 4. Leadership is not just a historical concept but a destiny awaiting realization. Each individual has a unique role to fulfill in the world. 5. While everyone is born with the potential for leadership, becoming a leader requires intentional action and service to one's gift. Built-in capacity. When we think of leadership, we often envision controlling or mastering others. However, true leadership involves serving and stewarding the gifts bestowed upon us by the Creator. Dominion, as granted by God, entails utilizing one's inherent capabilities to fulfill a specific purpose. Just as birds are born with the ability to fly and fish with the ability to swim, humans are inherently designed for leadership. Leadership is not imposed from the outside but is an innate aspect of our being, waiting to be actualized. Created he them. God created humanity, male and female, in his image and likeness, assigning both genders dominion over the earth. This divine mandate implies equality in leadership roles, challenging societal norms that oppress or discriminate against women. In the body of Christ, there is no distinction between male and female, emphasizing equal standing and leadership potential for all. Therefore, every woman possesses inherent leadership abilities and should be treated with respect and equality alongside men. Embracing equality. The biblical narrative highlights the equal leadership status of both men and women, emphasizing their shared responsibility for dominion over the earth. Women are not inferior but are equal partners in leadership, reflecting the image and likeness of God. In my personal and professional life, I affirm and support my wife's leadership role, recognizing her as a capable and valuable leader. Together, we share dominion and responsibility in our church, home, and community, acknowledging the inherent leadership potential in both genders. 7. Jockeying for position. The sons of Zebedee. Principle 3. There's a price to pay. The saying goes, never pursue something or envy someone's achievement until you understand the sacrifices they made. This lesson underscores that true success always comes with a cost, and every great leader has a story marked by sacrifices and challenges. Just like wanting a fancy car but realizing it's beyond your budget, aspiring to leadership also comes with its own price tag. Many desire it, but not all are willing to pay the price. Others may covet your position without understanding the sacrifices you made to get there, whether it's enduring hardships, financial struggles, discrimination, or personal setbacks. Leadership isn't just about the accolades, it's about the scars earned along the way. Take, for example, the billionaire casino magnate Stephen Wynn. While many envy his wealth and success, few know about the personal challenges he faced, like taking over his family's business at a young age, battling a degenerative eye disease, or experiencing the trauma of his daughter's kidnapping. The lesson is clear: aspiring to leadership means understanding and being prepared to pay the price that comes with it. A mother's request. In the biblical narrative, the mother of James and John, two disciples of Jesus, approached him with a bold request for her sons to have positions of honor and authority in his kingdom. Jesus responded with a poignant question, asking if they were willing to drink from the same cup of sacrifice he was about to drink. This metaphorical cup symbolized the price of leadership, a cost that Jesus himself was about to pay. He gently reminded them that true greatness comes from service and sacrifice, not from seeking positions of power for personal gain. Jesus' response highlights the importance of understanding the true cost of leadership and the necessity of humility and service in aspiring to greatness. Preparedness for greatness. Becoming a leader isn't just about desire, it's about preparation and the sacrifices you're willing to make. Throughout history, renowned leaders like Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King Jr., and Mahatma Gandhi exemplified this truth. They were destined for greatness but had to endure hardships and pay the ultimate price for their convictions. Even those born into privilege, like the children of Donald Trump, must undergo rigorous training and education to prepare for leadership roles. Succession in renowned businesses or institutions isn't handed over on a silver platter. It requires dedication, hard work, and a willingness to learn from the ground up. Similarly, anyone aspiring to leadership must be ready to pay the price. This journey involves facing challenges, opposition, and even betrayal. When you start pursuing your true calling, you may encounter resistance from unexpected sources, including friends, family, or colleagues who feel threatened by your newfound confidence and clarity of purpose. However, despite the challenges, the pursuit of leadership is worth every sacrifice. It's about finding your place in the world and inspiring others to do the same. As you navigate this path, people may question your motives or challenge your authority, but staying true to yourself and your vision is key to achieving greatness. Asking the right questions. Jesus' teachings challenge the conventional notions of leadership. When James and John's mother sought positions of power for her sons, Jesus redirected the focus to the cost of leadership rather than the perks of authority. He asked whether they were prepared to drink from the cup of sacrifice, emphasizing that every leadership position comes with its own price tag. In essence, Jesus emphasized that true leadership isn't about titles or privileges, it's about the willingness to endure hardships and make sacrifices for the greater good. The question isn't about the position itself, but rather the cost one is willing to pay to fulfill that role. Leadership isn't bestowed upon individuals based on their desires alone, it's earned through dedication, sacrifice, and a commitment to serving others. So, instead of seeking positions of power, aspiring leaders should focus on understanding the sacrifices required and being prepared to pay the price for greatness, even when faced with death. The concept of the cup symbolizes the sacrifices and dedication required for leadership, as exemplified by historical figures like Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King Jr., and Mahatma Gandhi. These leaders, along with many early Christians, understood that serving others and being prepared to pay the ultimate price were integral to their roles. Martin Luther King Jr. eloquently expressed this idea the day before his assassination, acknowledging the threats to his life but remaining steadfast in his commitment to his cause. Similarly, Gandhi emphasized his willingness to die for his beliefs without resorting to violence. For some, the sacrifice may be as simple as completing a degree to serve a community or caring for a loved one. The essence lies in being prepared to give of oneself, even to the point of facing death if necessary. Jesus taught that positions of authority in God's kingdom aren't attained through ambition or prayer but through service and sacrifice. He emphasized the importance of humility and selflessness, contrasting the world's concept of leadership with the true essence of servant leadership. Leadership demands a high price, including self-sacrifice, rejection, criticism, loneliness, pressure, fatigue, and strain on relationships. Jesus' own disciples struggled with these challenges, highlighting the difficulties inherent in leadership roles. Aspiring leaders must carefully consider the sacrifices they're willing to make and the costs associated with their desired positions. By understanding the true price of leadership, individuals can better prepare themselves for the challenges ahead and commit to serving others with humility and dedication. 8. It's Greek to me. Out with old ideas. The seed of leadership. The essence of leadership, according to Principle 4, lies within individuals rather than being a distant goal to pursue. This principle challenges the prevailing philosophy of leadership rooted in Greek thought, which permeates modern education systems. Schools indoctrinate students with the ideas of philosophers like Plato and Aristotle to mold them into compliant followers or entitled leaders. Reflecting on his own experience growing up in the Bahamas, the author recalls being labeled as incapable of learning by teachers. However, through his discovery of his inherent leadership potential in Scripture, he transcended these limitations and excelled academically. This revelation empowered him to challenge oppressive systems and advocate for equality, ultimately leading to his ministry focused on human value. The concept of leadership as a divine endowment originated with the Greeks and Romans, who believed in the inherent superiority of certain individuals endowed with charisma by the gods. This belief justified numerous atrocities throughout history, perpetuating systems of oppression and discrimination. Contrary to this view, true leadership, as exemplified by figures like Moses, often emerges from unexpected places and imperfect individuals. Moses, despite his speech impediment, was chosen by God to lead the Israelites, highlighting that leadership is not contingent on charisma or perfection but on divine selection. The author emphasizes that everyone possesses inherent leadership potential, regardless of personality traits or perceived shortcomings. Leadership is not about charisma but about serving others and recognizing the value in every individual. This perspective challenges conventional notions of leadership and underscores the importance of servant leadership grounded in appreciation for humanity's inherent worth. A fresh approach to leadership. Beware of those who claim divine authority to rule over you, Jesus warned. Throughout history, people have used certain traits or beliefs to justify their superiority over others. Jesus challenged this notion, emphasizing that true leadership isn't about dominating or oppressing others, but about serving them selflessly. Traditional views of leadership often emphasize control, management, and hierarchy. However, Jesus redefined leadership as service and humility, where the greatest leaders are those who serve the most. Instead of measuring leadership by the number of followers, true leaders are measured by how many they serve. Contrary to the belief that leaders are inherently superior, Jesus taught that everyone has inherent value and potential for leadership. Leadership isn't about managing people or instilling fear, but about developing and empowering them. It's not a product of divine providence, where some are chosen to lead and others to follow, but a call to serve others with love and compassion. When selecting leaders, it's essential to consider their philosophy of leadership and their perception of human value. Rather than focusing solely on accomplishments and experience, we should prioritize a servant leadership mindset that values and develops others. To create positive change in our world, we must adopt the philosophy of servant leadership exemplified by Jesus Christ. Regardless of our background or circumstances, we all have the potential to lead by serving others with humility and love. 9. Check the reservations. Your name is on the roll. A fresh approach to leadership. Beware of those who claim divine authority to rule over you, Jesus warned. Throughout history, people have used certain traits or beliefs to justify their superiority over others. Jesus challenged this notion, emphasizing that true leadership isn't about dominating or oppressing others, but about serving them selflessly. Traditional views of leadership often emphasize control, management, and hierarchy. However, Jesus redefined leadership as service and humility, where the greatest leaders are those who serve the most. Instead of measuring leadership by the number of followers, true leaders are measured by how many they serve. Contrary to the belief that leaders are inherently superior, Jesus taught that everyone has inherent value and potential for leadership. Leadership isn't about managing people or instilling fear, but about developing and empowering them. It's not a product of divine providence, where some are chosen to lead and others to follow, but a call to serve others with love and compassion. When selecting leaders, IA divine provision for leadership. Leadership isn't merely learned from textbooks, but discovered within oneself. Just like having a guaranteed hotel room, God has already reserved your leadership position, ensuring it's available when needed. Jesus emphasized this by explaining that certain positions are already designated, not subject to human distribution. This concept of divine deposit means that every individual is born with a unique gift meant to serve humanity. Regardless of background or circumstances, everyone carries a treasure within, intended to fulfill a specific need in the world. God has intricately designed each person with a purpose in mind, providing the capacity to fulfill it. Contrary to the belief that leadership is attained through connections or opportunities, Jesus teaches that it's a result of divine preparation. Effective leaders recognize and nurture the inherent gifts in others, helping them manifest their potential. God's nature is that of a caring father, not a harsh enforcer. He provides for his children's needs, guiding them to fulfill their purpose with confidence. The plans he has established for each individual ultimately prevail, and understanding leaders can help draw out the deep waters of purpose in others. God has equipped every person with the potential to fulfill their purpose and claim their leadership role. Just as he cares for the flowers and grass, he also provides for his children and expects them to serve their gifts. So, take comfort in knowing that your leadership spot is already reserved, waiting for you to step into it and serve your purpose. It is essential to consider their philosophy of leadership and their perception of human value. Rather than focusing solely on accomplishments and experience, we should prioritize a servant leadership mindset that values and develops others. To create positive change in our world, we must adopt the philosophy of servant leadership exemplified by Jesus Christ. Regardless of our background or circumstances, we all have the potential to lead by serving others with humility and love. Untapped potential. The real tragedy in life isn't death, it's living without a sense of purpose. It's worse to be alive without knowing why than to be dead without experiencing life. If you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s and still haven't discovered your purpose, remember this: you weren't born just to exist. Your existence on this planet is meant to fulfill a specific assignment and make a meaningful difference in the world. Every person carries within them a seed of greatness waiting to be unleashed. A good leader is someone who helps others realize and develop their inherent greatness for the benefit of the whole community. True leadership involves creating an environment where people can thrive and contribute their gifts for the common good. Unfortunately, many individuals pass away without ever tapping into their potential. They take their untapped talents and buried treasures to the grave, making the cemetery the richest place on earth. It's filled with unwritten books, unheard music, unpublished magazines, unopened businesses, and unrealized dreams. But you still have the opportunity to add to the wealth of the cemetery if you haven't yet unleashed your potential. Are you procrastinating on your dreams and goals? Are you putting off pursuing your passions? Don't wait until it's too late. Serve the world with your gifts before it's your turn to rest in the cemetery. Potential is the untapped power and unused strength within you, waiting to be unleashed. It's who you truly are and what you're capable of achieving but haven't revealed yet. God, the Omnipotent One, is always interested in your potential, not just your past accomplishments. He sees the greatness within you that is waiting to be brought to light. When God created the world, He placed the seed of everything within itself. This means that everything you need to become who you're meant to be is already within you. You were born with the seed of greatness, and it's up to you to nurture it and let it flourish. So, don't let your potential go to waste. Embrace it, cultivate it, and make a difference in the world. Nurturing seeds of potential. There's no time to dwell on the past. God urges you to look forward. The potential for everything lies within itself. Your future isn't merely ahead of you, it's already within you. Just like how an apple seed contains the potential for an entire orchard, each person holds within them the seeds of greatness. God intricately hides the future within every aspect of creation, whether it's a tree holding the promise of a forest, a bird concealing a flock, or a child embodying the potential for a generation. Often, people see only the surface, but God perceives the depth of potential within each individual. He saw Moses, a fugitive and a killer, and envisioned the author of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Similarly, He sees beyond our limitations, recognizing greatness even in the most unexpected places. Don't let anyone, not even your parents, stifle your dreams. Children dream big because they haven't yet learned to limit themselves. As adults, we must reconnect with that childlike wonder and refuse to abandon our dreams for the sake of practicality. The work of redemption isn't just about saving souls, it's about reclaiming forests of destiny. God's love for us stems from His knowledge of the potential He's placed within each of us. Salvation isn't merely a ticket to heaven, it's an invitation to fulfill the good works prepared for us from the beginning. Like Jesus, who declared, "It is finished," upon completing His assignment, we too should strive to empty ourselves of the gifts and potential placed within us. Let's not reach the end of our lives with untapped potential, but instead serve the world with the gifts we've been given. Embracing your calling. God doesn't ask you to do anything that isn't already within your capabilities. If you dread Mondays because you dislike your job, remember, your job doesn't define your purpose. It's merely a temporary arrangement. Your true work, on the other hand, aligns with what you were born to do, to solve a problem in the world. Your value increases based on the problems you solve, not the job title you hold. To thrive, identify the problem you're meant to solve. Most people are so caught up in making a living that they overlook their destined purpose. Wealth and progress come from addressing these problems, not just fulfilling a job description. Seek out challenges in your workplace and offer solutions. Your advancement will follow naturally because organizations reward problem solvers, not bystanders. Rather than working solely for financial gain, seek fulfillment in utilizing your gifts. Society may try to divert you from your calling by emphasizing a career over your innate talents. However, if you neglect your gifts, they'll remain buried with you in the cemetery. Ask yourself, what potential will I leave unrealized if I don't pursue my dreams? Have I fulfilled the purpose God placed within me? Your Father has prepared a leadership role for you, along with the necessary gifts to fulfill it. Seize this opportunity and fulfill your divine assignment. 10. It isn't yours to keep. Sharing the riches. Principle of service, serving others. The value of every creation lies in its contribution to others. This truth became apparent to me during a cold winter flight when I sat beside an elderly man reliant on oxygen. His words resonated deeply, highlighting how crucial the simplest acts, like breathing, are for sustaining life. Reflecting on the interconnectedness of nature, I realized that every element serves a purpose in supporting the ecosystem. Similarly, every human being has a role to play in the cycle of humanity. We exist not for ourselves but for the benefit of others. Leadership, therefore, entails discovering and utilizing our gifts to serve our generation. Growing up in a modest neighborhood taught me the essence of servant leadership. Despite our own financial constraints, my parents exemplified selflessness by constantly giving to others. Their generosity, rooted in the belief that serving others ensures one's needs are met, shaped my understanding of leadership. Through their acts of charity and compassion, my parents earned respect and became leaders in the community. They didn't seek leadership but rather focused on serving others, embodying the principle that prioritizing the needs of others leads to fulfillment and respect. Today, my siblings and I carry forward the legacy of service instilled by our parents. We understand that true leadership lies in selflessly serving others, inspiring those around us to embrace the ethos of servant leadership. The Supreme Commandment. Perhaps Jesus' concluding words to his disciples, "Even I, your master, did not come to be served, but to serve as a guiding principle." By presenting himself as an example, Jesus encouraged them to follow his lead. Effective parents and mentors often employ the same approach, emphasizing service over self-interest. Leadership, fundamentally, is not about personal gain, it's about serving others. Jesus' teachings emphasize the importance of loving God and loving others as oneself. This love is demonstrated through service, addressing humanity's needs. Servant leadership offers a solution to the challenges facing humanity. If leaders across various spheres embrace this ethos, they could significantly impact their communities. Governments would shift their focus from self-preservation to serving citizens. Similarly, religious institutions would promote unity and service rather than division. Even businesses can embody servant leadership. Consider Warren Buffett, who, despite his immense wealth, remains grounded and actively involved in community projects. His example highlights the transformative power of service-oriented leadership. Bill Gates, too, prioritizes service through initiatives like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. His commitment to improving lives demonstrates the essence of true leadership, using one's gifts for the betterment of society. Companies like Microsoft and Apple follow suit by focusing on innovation to enhance people's lives. Their success stems from a dedication to serving humanity rather than mere profit-making. Jesus' humility, demonstrated through acts like washing his disciples' feet, exemplifies servant leadership. His teachings underscore the importance of equality, respect, and service to others. In today's world, servant leadership remains a beacon of hope for addressing pressing issues like poverty, discrimination, and environmental degradation. By prioritizing service, leaders can fulfill their duty to humanity and leave a positive legacy for future generations. The shepherdless state. Jesus of Nazareth, a profound thinker from the 1st century, offered a remarkably clear assessment of humanity's plight. His insight into our condition and his proposed solution are encapsulated in one poignant statement. Matthew, a disciple of Jesus, recorded these words, "When Jesus saw the crowds, he had compassion on them, because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd." This assessment remains relevant today, reflecting the enduring challenges and frustrations faced by each generation. The term harassed here suggests being controlled or influenced by external forces, devoid of inner peace. Harassed individuals find themselves ensnared in life's struggles, striving for the basics: food, clothing, and shelter. Even in contemporary society, little has changed. Even those economically privileged and highly industrialized nations experience stress, juggling multiple tasks in our digitally driven culture. We find ourselves constantly connected, yet often disconnected from the simple joys of life, sacrificing personal time and relationships for the sake of productivity. Many endure monotonous routines, working long hours in jobs they despise for inadequate wages, only to return home to a diet of fast food and a barrage of distressing news. This cycle of exhaustion and dissatisfaction characterizes a form of harassment prevalent in modern life. In this relentless pursuit of material success, many portray an illusion of happiness while grappling with broken families, substance abuse, and inner turmoil. Meanwhile, poverty, hunger, and homelessness afflict those less fortunate, exacerbating their sense of helplessness. Jesus' observation of humanity's plight underscores a critical absence: effective leadership. He did not attribute the people's helplessness to sin or evil, but to the lack of capable leadership. Despite the presence of powerful figures like religious leaders and rulers, genuine leadership was conspicuously absent. Jesus' diagnosis highlights the failure of leaders to address the needs of the people, perpetuating a state of harassment and helplessness. His call to action, echoed in his disciples' commission, emphasizes the importance of stepping up to serve humanity's needs. True leadership, as exemplified by Jesus, prioritizes service over personal gain. It seeks to uplift, empower, and inspire others, rather than exploiting or oppressing them. Unfortunately, history is replete with examples of leaders who abused their power for selfish ends, disregarding the well-being of those they were meant to serve. Servant leadership, therefore, advocates for the preservation of human dignity and the advancement of individuals and communities. It rejects any ideology or policy that undermines human life or perpetuates inequality. Instead, it champions compassion, equality, and social justice as foundational principles. In a world fraught with challenges, servant leadership offers a path forward. It transcends personal ambitions and embraces a collective responsibility to uplift humanity. Whether on a personal, societal, or global level, true leadership strives to make the world a better place for all. In conclusion, Jesus' timeless wisdom calls upon each of us to heed the call of leadership by serving others with our unique gifts. It challenges us to confront the injustices and inequalities that plague our world, offering hope for a brighter future grounded in compassion and service. 11. Leaders are made, not born. Self-discovery is the main ingredient. Principle 7. Discovering yourself to serve others. The true measure of greatness lies not in personal accumulation but in selfless service to others. Living a meaningful life isn't about its duration but about the impact you make during your time here. In essence, prioritizing service over self-interest is the essence of true fulfillment. I can't think of a better embodiment of servant leadership than my wife, Ruth. Her compassion mirrors that of my parents, who selflessly shared whatever little they had with others. Ruth's constant efforts to ensure people's comfort and well-being, along with her dedication to various projects aiding women and the elderly, inspire me daily. She's my steadfast support, actively involved in all my endeavors. I first met Ruth during my high school years, where we both engaged in community service. Despite her initial shyness and reluctance for public roles, Ruth's commitment to service led her to overcome these barriers. Today, she confidently represents me and serves as a public speaker, a transformation fueled by her desire to make a difference. Jesus' teachings about servant leadership are often misunderstood. True servanthood isn't about diminishing oneself, but about serving one's unique gifts to the world. Leadership begins with self-discovery and culminates in self-expression for the betterment of others. It's about embracing who you are and offering your gifts to the world without reservation. Leadership potential exists within each of us, waiting to be discovered and cultivated. It may emerge during moments of adversity or through the pursuit of one's passions and purpose. Great leaders throughout history, from Jesus to Gandhi, didn't seek leadership but embraced it when circumstances called upon them to serve. Becoming a leader isn't a predetermined destiny but a journey of self-realization and contribution to others. Just as a seed must undergo transformation to become a tree, we too must undergo personal growth and self-transformation to fulfill our potential. Greatness emerges not through ambition but through dedicated service and self-discovery. The stories of leaders like Jesus, Martin Luther King Jr., and Mother Teresa exemplify this journey of self-discovery and service. They didn't seek leadership but embraced it when the need arose, dedicating themselves to serving others and leaving an indelible mark on history. Answering the call to leadership. Genuine leaders don't actively pursue leadership roles, rather, they are driven by a profound sense of purpose that emanates from their unique gifts and inspires others to join them in their mission. Personality type doesn't determine leadership potential since leadership manifests in various personalities united by a shared, compelling purpose. Leadership often emerges from two primary sources. 1. Circumstances and pressure. Leaders often arise in times of crisis or challenge when the need for leadership becomes urgent and undeniable. 2. Intentional training and development. Leadership can also develop through deliberate efforts and opportunities presented by projects and initiatives. The Bible offers numerous examples of unconventional leaders. Moses, despite his speech impediment and lack of charisma, was chosen by God to lead millions of people. Similarly, David, the youngest and least expected of Jesse's sons, became king due to his unwavering faith and unique talents. David's story illustrates that true leadership isn't about seeking personal greatness but about utilizing one's inherent gifts to serve others and uphold principles larger than oneself. His victory over Goliath wasn't driven by a desire for personal glory but by a commitment to defending his people and honoring God. Our world is brimming with potential leaders, each possessing unique gifts waiting to be recognized and nurtured. We must all strive to unlock our own potential while supporting others on their journeys. Oprah Winfrey once taught a leadership class based on The Wizard of Oz, emphasizing the idea that, like Dorothy, each of us already possesses the power to lead within us. Following the process. Those who actively pursue greatness often lack the qualities necessary for true leadership. Becoming a leader requires following a process, as exemplified by Jesus' teachings on servant leadership. Greatness is accessible to all, but it requires humility and a commitment to serving others. Hitler's misuse of his communication skills serves as a cautionary tale against pursuing greatness without a genuine desire to serve humanity. Conversely, Luciano Pavarotti's dedication to sharing his musical gift for the benefit of others exemplifies the true essence of servant leadership. To know yourself. Self-discovery is the first step toward leadership. By understanding our desires, passions, and persistent ideas, we can identify our purpose and begin serving others effectively. It's essential to ignore external judgments and prejudices and focus on defining ourselves based on our unique gifts and aspirations. By answering 10 reflective questions about our desires, passions, and dreams, we can gain insights into our true selves and our potential for leadership. Recognizing recurring themes in our answers helps paint a clearer picture of who we are and what we're meant to do. Engage with the divine. Merely exploring our inner selves isn't adequate. While self-discovery is crucial, it's equally important to align our aspirations with the purpose intended by our Creator. Often, our setbacks stem from overlooking God's plan for us. We must consult the manufacturer before proceeding. King Solomon and Psalmist David emphasized the significance of aligning our desires with God's will. Proverbs 19 verse 21 asserts that although we may have many plans, it's ultimately the Lord's purpose that prevails. Psalm 37 verse 4 promises that by finding joy in the Lord, He will grant us the desires of our hearts. By finding joy in our Creator and embracing His design for us, we follow the example set by Jesus and fulfill our potential for leadership. Each person possesses a unique place of purpose, a spot where they can make a meaningful impact. Discovering this calling is essential for personal fulfillment and effectiveness. Your job is what you're paid to do, but your true work is what you were born to do. When you engage in work that aligns with your true self, you offer a valuable gift to the world. Instead of asking, "What do you do?" the better question is, "Who are you?" True fulfillment lies not in merely doing tasks, but in discovering our authentic selves. Authentic leadership involves understanding our true selves and leveraging that understanding for the benefit of others. It's about becoming who we're meant to be, ultimately serving others. So, who are you? Once you grasp your identity and embrace your role as a leader, you can apply the 7 principles of servant leadership and prepare yourself for leadership in action. Part 3. Prepare to serve the practice of leadership. No one exceeds the boundaries set by their belief system. 12. Believe the power of philosophy. If everyone was born to lead, why do so many people fall short of their potential? There are likely many reasons, but self-doubt is certainly one of the top ones. When I talk about leadership, most people don't think I'm referring to them. I estimate that only 10% of those listening to me or reading this book believe they have some leadership abilities. The other 90% think I'm talking about someone else. No, I am indeed talking to you. You must start believing in yourself, if you haven't already. Let what's naturally within you emerge and develop. It's time to change your mindset. We've discussed the 7 principles of servant leadership, including Principle 4, leadership is inherent. However, many people think leadership is reserved for a select few, an idea that originated from Greek philosophy and was spread worldwide by the Roman Empire. As we mentioned in Chapter 8, this philosophy teaches that some are born to lead and others to follow, implying that leadership is reserved for a tiny, elite fraction of the population. Most people live in the shadow of these few exceptional individuals. Even today, we average individuals accept this philosophy. Our destinies are shaped by what others think of us. As we discuss how to prepare you for your leadership role, the place the Father has reserved for you, what you think of yourself is crucial. What are your beliefs about yourself? What is your philosophy? Philosophy is powerful. Thought is the source of philosophy. The word philosophy comes from philo, meaning love, and sophi, meaning to think or to know. It addresses our way of thinking, our belief system. You live your ideas. You become your thoughts. Solomon says that what you think determines who you are, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he, Proverbs 23 verse 7 KJV. The word translated as a heart in Solomon's statement is a Hebrew term for the center of reasoning. This doesn't refer to the conscious mind but the hidden mind. Psychology calls it the subconscious mind. Whatever is stored in your subconscious mind is generally the real you. Jesus of Nazareth said, "Out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks," Matthew 12 verse 34 NKJV. He also said, Matthew 15 verses 18 to 20. 18 Those things which proceed out of the mouth come from the heart, and they defile a man. 19 For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, and blasphemies. 20 These are the things which defile a man. What comes from the heart can be either constructive or destructive. Jesus taught that the heart gives birth to actions. The actions are committed there, and then they manifest in deeds. His disciple John echoed this teaching when he wrote, "Whoever hates his brother is a murderer," 1 John 3 verse 15 NKJV. People often think it's okay to hate someone as long as we don't physically harm them. But what's in our hearts reveals who we truly are. Our innermost thoughts and ideas are crucial because they guide our attitudes and lives. Why should a book on leadership focus on the subject of philosophy? Philosophy is at the core of our ideas on leadership. To improve or change the quality of our leadership, we must address the philosophical dimension. How do you think? Ideas are important, but the way we think about ideas is even more crucial. When we receive ideas, our brains evaluate them to determine whether we accept or reject them. If we accept an idea, our conscious mind stores it in our subconscious, which serves as an account for these accepted notions. If we reject an idea, we dismiss it from our thoughts. The collection of accepted ideas forms our belief system, our personal philosophy of life. These are the concepts we embrace, retain, and live by, shaping our way of thinking, our beliefs, our sense of truth, and our perception of life. Every person is a philosopher because each of us has a life philosophy, whether we realize it or not. Our philosophies are shaped by ideas we've adopted from others or developed ourselves, integrating them into our lives. These ideas help create the reality we experience. You live by the ideas you accept. Your thoughts define you, making thoughts and ideas extremely important. People can influence who you become if you accept their words into your life. Hearing something repeatedly can lead to belief and eventually living it. If ideas overwhelm you, you might adopt them and store them in your subconscious mind. You become what people say you are if you accept their words. Believing something alters your life experience because you react to life based on those beliefs. You see the world more through your beliefs than through your physical eyes. Philosophy, therefore, is more powerful than sight because you interpret what you see based on what you believe in your heart and mind. Be careful about the ideas you accept, as they can be either beneficial or harmful. On the positive side, the transfer of ideas can be very beneficial. For example, parents teach their children values like honesty and self-discipline, which stay with them for life. Communities pass on values and traditions such as helping the less fortunate and respecting others, ensuring the continuance of a peaceful society. Most of us think we are born to follow, and that a system maintains this notion. Our political systems and governments, even democracies, reinforce the idea that a few people lead while others follow. Every form of government, whether communism, socialism, democracy, or dictatorship, suggests that leadership is reserved for a few, so we don't aspire to be leaders. Education produces followers. Most people are trained to become employees, not business owners. There are few classes now in trades or entrepreneurship, which would encourage leadership. Entrepreneurship begins when people discover their gifts and pursue their dreams, starting businesses and building the economy and strong nations. Instead, our schools teach students to get jobs and work for someone else. Students learn to be good employees. Even parents say, "Get an education so you can get a job," not realizing they are limiting their children's potential. The whole system is set up this way, whether intentionally or by default. Why not say, get an education so you can own a business or be an employer? The culture suppresses the real you and creates the you that the power structure wants. This is why schools have a curriculum to produce a predetermined product. The educational system can predict what kind of person it will produce if that person follows the system. The system requires all teachers to study the same writers, the same version of history, the same philosophers, and so on, to produce more teachers like themselves. The average person never discovers who they truly are. They become what everyone expects, except what our Creator God expects. Systems of philosophy have undermined the vast potential within you and those around you, leading most people to achieve far below their capabilities. They do not know themselves, and no one else will know them if they do not change. The idea of leadership that Jesus of Nazareth, the master philosopher and teacher, came to reintroduce is the knowledge of who we are as human beings. His message is that the potential and capacity for leadership is inherent in all people, not just a few. This knowledge has the power to change the world. Then came Jesus. Jesus Christ exemplified a type of leadership that defied traditional views. He grew up in a small town with limited scope, never venturing far from his birthplace. Born under Roman oppression, he had no societal advantages or prestigious status. He wasn't even considered a Roman citizen, seen instead as a subhuman non-citizen. Despite these significant barriers and having friends who also struggled with self-esteem, his influence became global. How did he achieve this? How did someone with so many disadvantages become the most significant person in history? Jesus emphasized that his impact wasn't because he was the Son of God but as the Son of Man, highlighting his humanity. He used his inherent abilities uniquely, overcoming disadvantages and helping others do the same. Matthew 11 verse 19. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, here is a glutton and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and sinners. But wisdom is proved right by her actions. Jesus believed every human possesses leadership potential in their unique area of gifting. He advocated for a world of leaders, each person finding their place in God's plan, contributing to their community and the world. To lead, one must first serve. This concept of servant leadership, though ancient, seems new because it has been lost over time. Jesus' leadership philosophy counters societal norms that restrict leadership potential. Many people mistakenly believe they lack what it takes to lead. Jesus came to reassert God's plan. We are all created in God's image to lead and serve. Personal success hinges on discovering your unique gifts. God designed everyone for a specific purpose, and understanding your gifts and role will shape your approach to life and leadership. Confidence comes from self-discovery, not from external affirmations or positive thinking alone. A positive attitude stems from belief in oneself and one's abilities. When you understand your identity, you no longer feel intimidated. Knowing your true self gives you perspective and diminishes fear, which is self-generated. The Israelites' fear when approaching the Promised Land exemplifies this. They saw themselves as grasshoppers, which skewed their perception of others as giants. Numbers 13:30-33. 30 Then Caleb silenced the people before Moses and said, we should go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it. 31 But the men who had gone up with him said, we can't attack those people, they are stronger than we are. 32 And they spread among the Israelites a bad report about the land they had explored. They said, the land we explored devours those living in it. All the people we saw there are of great size. 33 We saw the Nephilim there. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them. Society's negative reinforcement and oppression lead to self-doubt, low self-esteem, and a lack of self-worth. Young people often absorb these limiting beliefs, thinking their lives and dreams are worthless. This leads some to join gangs for a sense of empowerment, choosing crime as a means to exert control and feel significant. These potential leaders are often trapped, disillusioned, and confused. Yet, many possess talents that, if directed positively, could lead to significant contributions in various fields. Understanding and deploying one's gifts can transform society. Self-doubt remains a major human issue. People often try to be someone else because they lack self-knowledge and confidence. Jesus' life teaches the importance of self-identity and purpose. He never accepted others' opinions about himself, and neither should we. Matthew 16 verse 15. But what about you? He asked. Who do you say I am? Jesus came to restore our self-image, showing us what it looks like to live fully as intended by God. His life demonstrated how to take control of one's circumstances and lead effectively. 2,000 years ago, people followed Jesus because they admired his ability to control life's situations. He healed the sick, calmed storms, and performed miracles, which drew people to him. They wanted to experience the same empowerment. Matthew 14 verses 14 to 21. 14 When Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them and healed their sick. 15 As evening approached, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a remote place, and it's already getting late. Send the crowds away, so they can go to the villages and buy themselves some food." 16 Jesus replied, "They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat." 17 "We have here only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, they answered. 18 "Bring them here to me," he said. 19 And he directed the people to sit down on the grass. Taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks and broke the loaves. Then he gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the people. 20 They all ate and were satisfied, and the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. 21 The number of those who ate was about 5,000 men, besides women and children. Jesus empowered his disciples to perform miracles, teaching them that leadership and service are natural duties. He emphasized that they should rejoice not in their achievements but in their reconnection with God. Luke 9 verses 1 to 2, 6. 1 When Jesus had called the 12 together, he gave them power and authority to drive out all demons and to cure diseases. 2 And he sent them out to preach the kingdom of God and to heal the sick. 6 So they set out and went from village to village, preaching the gospel and healing people everywhere. True leadership is a duty to humanity, not a quest for recognition. Jesus taught that belief in oneself and in God's words is essential. He demonstrated that with faith, we can achieve remarkable things. Matthew 21 verses 18 to 22. 18 Early in the morning, as he was on his way back to the city, he was hungry. 19 Seeing a fig tree by the road, he went up to it but found nothing on it except leaves. Then he said to it, "May you never bear fruit again." Immediately the tree withered. 20 When the disciples saw this, they were amazed. "How did the fig tree wither so quickly?" they asked. 21 Jesus replied, "I tell you the truth, if you have faith and do not doubt, not only can you do what was done to the fig tree, but also you can say to this mountain, 'Go, throw yourself into the sea,' and it will be done." 22 If you believe, you will receive whatever you ask for in prayer. Jesus encouraged us to have faith in our abilities, using the example of moving mountains to illustrate the power of belief. He taught that extraordinary acts should be natural for us. Matthew 17 verse 20. He replied, "Because you have so little faith. I tell you the truth, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you." Belief, when aligned with God's words, empowers us to overcome challenges and achieve greatness. Jesus' teachings remind us that leadership is inherent in all of us, and with faith, we can accomplish extraordinary things. I am a leader. Reversing years of self-doubt is challenging, but you can nurture self-belief by reminding yourself that you can achieve anything. Greatness involves distancing yourself from others' opinions and expectations, and realizing that you are more than what society has defined. To help you achieve greatness, I have adapted these affirmations from some of my earlier writings. Read them periodically to help maximize your potential to lead. Affirmations. 1. I possess a deep, guiding purpose that gives meaning and reason to my existence. 2. I have a clear vision, both personal and collective, that I can communicate to others. 3. I love to serve others, driven by a passion to improve their lives, help them maximize their potential, and develop their own leadership. 4. I have established clear goals aligned with my gifts and God's purpose for me. 5. I cultivate my spiritual reserves through scripture, prayer, and faith practices. 6. I am teachable, demonstrated by my commitment to study, reading, listening to those who can teach me, and learning from my mistakes. 7. I continually refine my skills through practice, innovation, and adaptation to achieve excellence. 8. I believe in others and value their worth, differences, and weaknesses. 9. I am bold and decisive, trusting in my strengths and my inherent, God-given leadership. 10. I maintain integrity in all my dealings with people. 11. I maximize my opportunities and my time to achieve results. 12. I am a leader created in the image of God and committed to serving with my gifts. 13. Prepare, the toolbox of a leader. Ability without skill leads to mediocrity. You might wonder, if I was born to lead, why do I need to prepare? That's a fair question. Preparation is essential before embarking on any endeavor. You may have the capacity and potential to succeed, but you need the right tools to achieve your goals. The Savior's advice that whoever wants to become great suggests a need for preparation, Matthew 20 verse 26. Without proper training, your chances of fulfilling your purpose are minimal. Anyone who becomes a CEO likely started as an intern. While leadership might be innate, succeeding in it requires preparation, study, prayer, or contemplation. To execute a mission or fulfill responsibilities, a leader needs certain resources. What do effective leaders have in common? If you examine the lives of great leaders, even those in your workplace or community who manage a team, staff, or family, you'll likely notice some common traits. One key trait is the ability to inspire. Leaders inspire others. Inspiration activates and mobilizes people, making them internalize your decisions, values, or goals. Leaders who fail to inspire often resort to manipulation. True leadership involves setting an example that others want to follow because they are genuinely inspired. Those who use fear, threats, promises, or coercion are not leaders, they are manipulators aiming to control, oppress, and dictate. What's the difference? If I order you to do something and threaten you with consequences, like a pay cut, demotion, or violence, that's coercion. However, if I lead by example and inspire you to want to do what I ask, that's true leadership. If I wash the feet of my friends and coworkers, as Jesus did to demonstrate servant leadership, and encourage you to do the same for others, and you follow suit, that's inspiration in action. The breath of God. The word inspire originates from the Latin word for inhale, meaning to breathe in. In Hebrew, it translates to God's breath. Our Creator infuses us with this capacity. Inspiration is the very essence of leadership, as essential as the air we breathe. It is so vital that it defines true leadership. In this book, our definition of leadership is: leadership is the ability to influence others through inspiration, which is fueled by passion, driven by vision, born from conviction, and guided by purpose. Let's explore these key concepts. Influence, inspiration, passion, vision, conviction, purpose. The core evidence of genuine leadership is influence. The heart of leadership is influence, which can sometimes be mistaken for manipulation. To lead someone or motivate them to take action, you must influence them. As a servant leader, you avoid threats and oppression. Your best chance to influence others is through inspiration, which stems from your passion for the task or subject. Most parents fail to inspire their children, instead, they manipulate or order them around, often unsuccessfully. To inspire your children to read, for example, you must first develop a passion for books. If you tell them, don't watch TV, but they see you watching it for hours, they will likely do the same. However, if they see you buying books or newspapers and spending time reading, they might be inspired to read as well. Your passion ignites inspiration in others. This is the essence of leadership. Passion generates inspiration. When you inspire people, you can influence them. Through inspiration, a leader can motivate followers to adjust their priorities in pursuit of a greater vision. Oprah Winfrey exemplifies someone who leads by inspiration. Despite her humble beginnings, which might have hindered others, they seem to ground her. This may be why she continues to give generously, help people, and build schools. She constantly engages in projects and assists others, which I believe helps her stay connected to her roots. She serves as a significant inspiration, especially to women who see her as a symbol of what one can achieve. Women are drawn to her because she loves to serve. Her nurturing spirit is a prime example of servant leadership. As an inspired leader, she influences others. A reason for being. Where does passion come from, and how do we cultivate it? Passion is driven by vision, born from conviction, and created by a sense of purpose. The first step is to discover your purpose, your original intent in life. Purpose means the reason for which we were created, to intend, resolve, or plan. It is the reason for our existence, the mission the Creator has given us. We fulfill our purpose through persistence and perseverance. Passion, fueled by deep desire and commitment, sustains our purpose. True leaders don't chase leadership, they pursue their purpose. They don't seek followers, instead, followers are drawn to them. Leadership is a noble privilege granted by inspired followers who share a common vision. Conviction, passion, and purpose are what attract others to recognize someone as a leader. Real leadership isn't about chasing followers, but about pursuing a personal sense of purpose. The source of successful leadership is a passionate commitment to a vision, driven by a conviction that creates a sense of duty. A true leader will pursue their purpose even if they must do it alone. This internal motivation is what sets leaders apart. They move toward their dreams without waiting for followers. If a leader isn't willing to pursue their purpose with enough passion to go it alone, they aren't worth following. Mother Teresa famously said, "Do not wait for leaders. Do it alone, person to person." Often, other leaders might not appear. You must lead through your passion and conviction. When you discover your personal passion and are willing to pursue it at any cost, a leader is born. Leadership emerges from finding a purpose and vision that drive you beyond personal preservation. Vision is what makes true leaders distinct from managers. Every vision starts with just one believer. Anyone aspiring to leadership will have their vision tested. There will be times when no one else believes in your purpose but you. Leadership can be solitary in that sense. Only God knows your true purpose. Everything in existence, from the shoes you wear to the chair you sit on, has a purpose known only to the Creator. Without knowing your Creator, discovering your purpose is difficult. Life lacks meaning without a relationship with God, the only one who knows why He created you. Until you understand why God made you, you remain a follower. To uncover God's purpose for you, you need His guidebook, the Bible. One of the most profound scriptures, Proverbs 19 verse 21, says, "Many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that will prevail." This teaches us three things: purpose is more important than plans, more powerful than plans, and precedes plans. God emphasizes that His purpose for your life takes precedence over your own plans. The word "a plan" refers to schemes, ideas, and devices we create. We often devise plans for our lives without consulting God. When these plans fail, we run to God. He advises, "Before you make plans for your life, consult me for your purpose." Plans are what we create, but purpose is what God establishes. Therefore, your plans should stem from God's purpose. Discovering your purpose makes you resilient to your past and opposition. It's like a seed breaking through concrete to grow, a tree pushing through a sidewalk, or bending around obstacles to reach the other side. Once you find your purpose, nothing can hold you back. Your purpose becomes your driving force, making you unstoppable. Paul said, "For this purpose I was appointed a herald and an apostle to the Gentiles," 1 Timothy 2 verse 7. He understood his purpose. Who is a leader? Leaders are individuals who have discovered themselves and committed to being their true selves. They are those who dare to be who the Creator intended them to be and are dedicated to fully expressing themselves through their gifts. The strength of your convictions. The next step in leadership development is building conviction. Once you uncover your purpose, it transforms into a conviction. You start to believe that you were destined for this mission, which is why leaders often appear driven. They become possessed by their sense of purpose. Consider Nelson Mandela, whose strong belief in human equality led to his imprisonment. Similarly, the Rev. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. faced jail multiple times to make his point. Jesus was arrested, tried, and executed. The powerful thing about conviction is that it can be confined but not destroyed. Purpose is stronger than problems, opposition, and criticism. Criticism can even be a sign that you are on the right path. Discovering your purpose sets you apart from the crowd. Those who are stagnant want you to join them in their inactivity. When you find your purpose, you also identify your adversaries, sometimes even within your own family. Yet, driven by purpose and conviction, you press on. Conviction fuels passion. A leader is someone with deep passion for their purpose. When you are passionate, you work tirelessly, often neglecting food, sleep, and breaks. You find yourself in a state of flow, where time is irrelevant. If you are more concerned with the clock than with your future, you are not leading. True leaders don't set time limits on their tasks. They are driven by the desire to complete their mission. As Jesus said, "It is finished." The fulfillment is in the accomplishment itself, not in the rewards. If you are eager to clock out at 5, you are an employee, not a leader. The mind of a leader. When leaders find their passion, they develop positive attitudes because passion brings hope and answers to life. They realize they were born for a specific purpose. People with purpose are rarely depressed. They may get discouraged but remain focused on their next step. There's a difference between being discouraged and being depressed. Purposeful people are never bored. They often feel that 24 hours in a day is insufficient. Those who claim boredom are met with disbelief by the purposeful, who always find something meaningful to do. The Bible warns against loving sleep too much, equating it with poverty. A person of purpose hates excessive sleep because it hinders productivity. Proverbs 20 verse 13 states, "Do not love sleep or you will grow poor, stay awake and you will have food to spare." When you find your purpose, weekends and breaks can feel like interruptions to your momentum. Jesus exemplified this when he prioritized his mission over food, saying, "I have food to eat that you know nothing about," John 4 verses 32 to 35. Passion for your purpose can make you forget about mealtimes. Passion inspires others. Passion, driven by vision, inspires others. A leader sees the end goal and can persuade others to join the mission. Ronald Reagan, for example, passionately opposed communist oppression and famously urged the Soviet leader to tear down this wall. He took a political risk, but his passion led to significant global change. Great leaders often run charitable organizations where motivation comes from passion rather than money. Inspiring volunteers requires conviction and passion. Jesus inspired his disciples to leave their livelihoods to follow him without monetary incentive, Matthew 4 verses 18 to 22. Bill and Melinda Gates, through their foundation, used their fortune and business wisdom to address global issues, inspiring Warren Buffett to donate billions to their cause. This demonstrates the power of shared vision and inspiration. Jimmy Carter, though not widely regarded as the greatest president, exemplified compassion through his work with Habitat for Humanity. His commitment to providing decent housing and his compassion make him a respected figure. Similarly, Billy Graham dedicated his life to spiritual leadership, influencing many, including U.S. presidents. All these leaders shared a common thread, purpose and passion. They inspired others to achieve their vision. Putting on the whole armor. Ephesians 6 verse 11, "Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes." What additional tools does a leader need? Here are 20 essential qualities for effective leadership. 1. Optimism. Discovering your purpose brings a positive attitude. 2. Energy. You'll find yourself with abundant energy to pursue your purpose, working tirelessly. 3. Warmth. Recognizing the value in everyone, you treat all people with kindness and respect. 4. Integrity. Staying true to yourself and conducting your affairs with honesty. 5. Trustworthiness. Earning others' trust through your integrity. 6. Irresponsibility. True leaders see tasks through to completion and do not make excuses. 7. Self-image. Confident in your worth, you do not seek external validation. 8. Knowledge. Continuously seeking knowledge and wisdom, leaders are avid readers. 9. A submission, knowing when to follow and submit to higher authorities or those with more expertise. 10. Self-discipline, setting high personal standards and behaviors for a greater purpose, akin to Jesus' call for discipleship. 11. Immorality, maintaining high moral standards, as personal failings can derail your mission. 12. Friendliness, having good people skills, making others feel valued and welcome. 13. Humor, being able to laugh at life, including your own mistakes, helps to win people over and maintain perspective during crises. 14. Resilience, bouncing back from setbacks and continuing forward. 15. Experience, gaining wisdom through your challenges, which prepares you for greater leadership. 16. Creativity, approaching problems from multiple angles and valuing new ideas. 17. Flexibility, adapting to changes and others' needs, showing that adjustment is not a sign of weakness. 18. Humility, prioritizing results over personal recognition. 19. Courage, taking risks, acting on instinct, and standing alone when necessary. 20. Concepts, seeing the big picture and understanding how different parts interconnect. Leadership tools inventory. Leaders may excel in some qualities more than others, but strength in most of these areas is essential. Focus on improving where you are lacking. Integrity, trustworthiness, morality, and self-discipline are especially critical. All these qualities, combined with purpose, passion, conviction, and inspiration, will help you lead effectively in your designated role, using your unique gifts to serve the world. To assess your readiness for leadership, ask yourself: can I inspire people? Do I know my purpose? What is my passion? How do I show conviction? Do I have integrity? Am I trustworthy? Do I take risks and embrace the unknown? Do I possess other leadership qualities? Am I willing to work on my weaknesses? The benefits of servant leadership. Discovering your purpose empowers you to fulfill your leadership role. You might wonder about the personal benefits. Unlike typical job perks, the benefits of leadership are unique and vital for carrying out your mission. Authenticity/authority. True servant leaders have inherent authority to fulfill their purpose. Discovering your gift reveals your arena of authority. If you act outside your design, you're working against your own authority. For example, a bird is authorized to fly, fulfilling its creator's design. Similarly, Jesus, after his resurrection, granted his disciples authority to make more disciples, saying, Matthew 28 verses 18-20, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age." Living authentically means doing what you were born to do. Unauthorized work is strenuous and unsustainable. A fish can swim effortlessly but would struggle and fail if it tried to fly. To avoid this, find your gift, nurture it, and let it grow. Everything you need to support it already exists. Luke 12:24, 27-28, "Consider the ravens, they do not sow or reap, they have no storeroom or barn, yet God feeds them. And how much more valuable you are than birds. Consider how the lilies grow. They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you, not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today, and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, how much more will he clothe you, O you of little faith?" The flowers, birds, and fish naturally fulfill their purpose without stress. The Creator wants you to do the same. When you fulfill your purpose, everything you need is provided. 2 birds. During a layover in Atlanta, Georgia, on my journey to Australia for a leadership conference, I observed something fascinating. While watching planes land from the airport window, I noticed a seagull gracefully gliding alongside the aircraft. This moment sparked a profound realization. I was witnessing 2 very different birds in action, one born to fly naturally, the other a human-made creation. One bird embodied authenticity, while the other seemed artificial. One represented originality, while the other mimicked. One operated with natural authority, while the other relied on artificial means. As the seagull effortlessly navigated the wind currents and landed near the airplane, a swarm of airport personnel sprang into action to service the aircraft. Machines, hoses, lights, and various equipment were deployed to cater to the needs of the massive plane. Interestingly, none of them attended to the seagull. It required no assistance for maintenance, no refueling, cleaning, or catering. Witnessing this contrast taught me a crucial life lesson: when you operate in alignment with your natural gifts, maintenance is minimal. Conversely, attempting tasks outside your natural abilities demands high maintenance and artificial support, leading to extreme costs. This airport window revelation underscored the importance of discovering and dedicating oneself to developing and utilizing natural gifts. Pursuing tasks outside one's inherent abilities results in a life of maintenance rather than service, a struggle rather than fulfillment. Originality. True servant leaders are not imitations but originals. Until you unearth your unique gifts, you remain a mere copy. Discovering your authentic self transforms you from a copy into an original, a leader unlike any other. Genuine confidence. Discovering your gift breeds genuine confidence rooted in self-awareness and understanding of your inherent value and potential. This confidence isn't a facade to mask inadequacies, but an authentic assurance derived from utilizing natural abilities and focusing on purpose, rather than ego. Personal fulfillment. True servant leaders derive fulfillment from serving their gifts to others, finding joy and satisfaction in contribution, not compensation. Pursuing purpose and utilizing innate gifts leads to unparalleled fulfillment, a sense of purpose and contentment. Intrinsic value. True servant leaders recognize their intrinsic value and obligation to contribute positively to humanity. Understanding one's significance and unique contribution eliminates the need for external validation and fosters a deep sense of self-worth. No competition. Discovering your authenticity eliminates the need for competition. True servant leaders understand their uniqueness and embrace collaboration, knowing that each individual's gifts are irreplaceable and indispensable. No comparison. True servant leaders refrain from comparing themselves to others, recognizing the futility of such comparisons. Each individual's uniqueness precludes comparison, fostering an environment where each person's gifts are celebrated without judgment. No jealousy. Servant leadership eradicates jealousy as individuals embrace their uniqueness and celebrate the success of others. Recognizing one's irreplaceability eliminates feelings of threat or inadequacy, fostering a culture of mutual support and encouragement. No fear. True servant leaders exude confidence and security, rooted in self-awareness and purpose. Fear dissipates as individuals embrace their authenticity and understand their intrinsic value and significance. Internal motivation and passion. True servant leaders are internally motivated by passion and purpose, eliminating the need for external incentives. Discovering and embracing one's unique gifts ignites a lifelong passion that propels individuals forward with energy and enthusiasm. These qualities form the foundation of servant leadership. Are you prepared to wield these tools? Embrace the journey of refining and utilizing your gifts to their fullest potential. 14. Refine, be a limited edition. The key to success lies in uncovering your uniqueness and significance. Imagine wanting to open a shoe store in a city already saturated with 1,000 others. How do you stand out? It starts by pinpointing your area of expertise. You might realize you excel at selling shoes, particularly for babies and toddlers. With experience in retail and wholesale, you decide to carve a niche by specializing in this demographic. By focusing on what you do best and catering to an underserved market, you make your store unique. Through meticulous planning, market analysis, and strategic advertising, you establish your store as the go-to destination for baby shoes. Customers flock to your shop, drawn by your expertise, selection, and tailored service. Whether in-store or online, your business thrives because you're meeting a specific need with your unique skill set. The lesson? Each of us becomes invaluable by honing a gift so distinct that it's irreplaceable. Just as fine jewelry's value lies in its rarity and craftsmanship, your value to the world stems from your refined uniqueness. Success isn't about chasing after it, it's about becoming a person of value. When you focus on refining your unique gifts, success naturally follows. By being indispensable to others and helping them achieve their goals, you embody servant leadership. A tale illustrates this point. Motivational speaker Les Brown sought out Dr. Myles Munroe after being inspired by his work. Despite Brown's fame, he humbly sought Munroe's wisdom, demonstrating the importance of continuous refinement in pursuing one's purpose. In essence, success isn't a destination but a journey of refining and serving your unique gifts to the world. Assigning personal value is crucial for success, whether in business, government, or any aspect of life. However, grasping this concept can be challenging amidst societal pressures and the glorification of celebrities. The internet further perpetuates this phenomenon by instantly catapulting individuals into fame, often for superficial reasons. Putting someone on a pedestal indicates a lack of self-value. True servant leadership requires recognizing that no one is inherently superior or inferior, each individual possesses inherent worth. Self-discovery is pivotal, as it unveils our connection to the Creator, our intrinsic value, and our unique purpose in leadership. Personal leadership aligns with our divine calling, designed specifically for us by the Creator. Embracing our true selves liberates us from the opinions of others, fostering confidence and freedom. Genuine leaders feel a responsibility to contribute to society, but they must first liberate themselves from the need for validation. To uncover our true selves, we must connect with the Creator, who intimately understands our essence. True leadership stems from self-awareness rather than simply attaining a position. It's about deploying our gifts for the betterment of humanity, not just securing a job. The key lies in understanding that each person possesses a unique gift of value, regardless of age or education. Pursuing one's passion is essential, as education alone cannot impart a gift, it merely refines it. Too often, individuals pursue fields dictated by others, leading to dissatisfaction and unfulfilled potential. To lead effectively, one must serve willingly, eagerly, and with integrity, embodying qualities like love, joy, and patience. Servant leadership doesn't demand obedience, but rather serves others with humility and compassion. Perceived value is crucial in leadership. When our gifts are refined and unique, people seek us out, recognizing that we alone can meet their needs. Just as McDonald's and Burger King distinguish themselves through refined products, individuals become significant by honing their unique gifts. Opportunities arise when our gifts are refined and offered to the world. Whether it's a chance encounter or a divine opportunity, our gifts make room for us. The better we become at serving our gifts, the more others are drawn to us. Developing our gifts requires the right environment. Like a seed needing soil to grow, we must surround ourselves with conducive conditions for development. Whether it's pursuing formal education or seeking mentorship, creating the right atmosphere is essential for manifesting our gifts. Ultimately, embracing our true selves and pursuing our passions lead to fulfillment. Despite obstacles or opposition, staying true to our vision and purpose is paramount. Our gifts are our contribution to humanity, and when cultivated, they bring forth blessings for ourselves and others. Before diving into leadership, there are crucial steps to take. First, carve out time for solitude, engaging in activities like reading, prayer, and meditation. This introspective time is vital for discovering oneself and understanding the Creator's purpose. Without this clarity, effective leadership becomes challenging. To prepare for leadership, several action steps are necessary. 1. Spend solitary time reflecting. 2. Document your aspirations and visions. 3. Educate yourself by reading books on leadership and related subjects. 4. Identify mentors or individuals who can guide you. 5. Seize opportunities for learning and growth. 6. Develop a concrete plan to fulfill your purpose. 7. Prepare yourself mentally and emotionally to execute your plan. 8. Offer your services voluntarily to gain experience and contribute to others. These steps are integral to refining your gift and uncovering your purpose. However, they only bear fruit if accompanied by genuine desire and passion. The Creator reveals one's purpose to those earnestly seeking it. Half-hearted efforts yield little insight, as the Creator responds to genuine curiosity and commitment. To truly grasp one's purpose, a sincere desire to know and understand is crucial. The Creator doesn't force revelations upon disinterested individuals but responds to earnest seekers. This concept is echoed in biblical teachings, emphasizing the importance of genuine pursuit and openness to divine guidance. Therefore, it's essential to dedicate time to commune with the Creator, seeking deeper self-awareness and understanding. By surrendering preconceived notions and embracing divine vision, one can uncover previously unseen aspects of oneself and receive clarity regarding their purpose. Crafting a vision statement is a practical exercise to solidify one's purpose and leadership direction. By answering questions about purpose, vision, goals, objectives, plans, and strategy, individuals clarify their aspirations and intentions. This process evolves over time, requiring refinement until condensed into a concise statement encapsulating one's leadership mission. For example, Christ's mission statement emphasizes service and sacrifice, providing a model for crafting personal statements aligned with one's unique gifts and aspirations. Regularly revisiting and internalizing this statement serves as a foundational guide for one's leadership journey. Ultimately, this process primes individuals to explore and pursue their vision with clarity and purpose, setting the stage for meaningful leadership endeavors. The greatest blessing bestowed upon humanity is not just the ability to see with our eyes, but the gift of having a vision for our lives. But how can we discern if our vision is truly from a divine source or merely driven by personal ambition? The answer is straightforward. If our vision is solely focused on benefiting ourselves, fulfilling our desires, and meeting our needs, it's likely not divinely inspired. True vision, rooted in the Creator's motivation, always aims to uplift and enhance the lives of those around us. It's about servant leadership, where the focus shifts from self to others, aiming to bring about positive change and improvement in society. Authentic vision is not self-serving, it's akin to a vehicle designed not to transport itself but to serve others. For instance, aspiring for a lavish house or car isn't inherently a divine vision unless it's intended to accommodate and aid those in need, like orphan children or the homeless. If our vision aligns with benefiting humanity, fostering development, and promoting well-being, then it's likely inspired by a higher purpose. Contrastingly, pursuits like drug dealing or theft can never be considered divine visions since they harm rather than benefit others. A telling sign of whether a vision is from a divine source is its inherent aim to serve and uplift humanity. Consider the example of someone aspiring to be a model without a clear understanding of how it would contribute to humanity. Without a tangible link between their passion and benefiting others, it's unlikely to be a divine calling. Vision stems from purpose. When we connect with our purpose, our vision becomes clearer. Our passions often signal our purpose. What moves us deeply can indicate where our calling lies. For instance, a profound concern for children's welfare might indicate a purpose related to helping them. When we're deeply moved by a cause and envision ways to address it, we're stepping into our vision. Leadership involves having a broader vision in our area of expertise and serving that vision to benefit others. When we passionately pursue our vision for the betterment of humanity, we embody true leadership. Vision is more than a mere idea, it's a conviction painted with purpose. It's what drives leaders, shaping their priorities and actions. Without vision, leadership becomes mere management, lacking the transformative power to inspire and drive change. Effectively communicating the vision is a crucial aspect of leadership. Leaders must convey their passion and conviction, inspiring others to embrace the vision as their own. Vision should be clear, concise, and capable of uplifting and inspiring others toward a better future. Ultimately, leadership is about influencing and inspiring others to pursue a common purpose, fueled by a shared vision. Vision is the heart of leadership, providing direction, inspiration, and meaning to collective efforts. It's a divine spark igniting the hearts of those who aspire to fulfill their purpose and positively impact the world. In practical terms, documenting our purpose and vision is essential. Writing down our vision helps crystallize our goals and serves as a roadmap for our journey. Like the Apostle Paul, who understood his purpose and readiness to fulfill it, we too must be clear about our life's mission and remain committed to it until the end. Capturing your vision. Much like God documented his vision in the Bible, it's crucial for us to put our own visions into writing. Without documentation, it's as though our aspirations never existed. The transition from prehistoric to historic times marked a significant shift when humanity learned to write, enabling us to record and communicate our endeavors. Take William Still, for instance, a visionary leader who played a pivotal role in the Underground Railroad. Despite others being more recognized for their efforts, Still's foresight extended to keeping meticulous records, which remain invaluable for understanding history. He understood the power of documenting the vision. Writing down your vision is empowering, making you significant and indispensable in life. It's important to differentiate between vision and mission. While a mission outlines broad goals and philosophical underpinnings, vision is specific and defines a unique path forward. For instance, consider fast food chains like McDonald's and Burger King. They share a mission of providing quick meals, but their visions differentiate them. Similarly, churches may share a mission of spreading the gospel, but their visions set them apart, attracting followers who resonate with their unique outlook. Leadership emerges when vision is articulated and embraced. Without vision, activities merely manage goals rather than inspiring transformative change. Therefore, take the time to document your vision. It's the cornerstone of your journey towards meaningful impact and fulfillment. Understanding vision. Vision is intricately tied to a clear sense of purpose and profound inspiration. It's not just a fleeting idea, it's detailed, personalized, unique, and rational. Each aspect of vision holds significant weight, illustrating its importance in leadership. Vision extends beyond mere sight. It's the ability to envisage a future beyond the present reality, depicted in vivid detail like a colorful painting of what lies ahead. It's personalized to fit the individual, addressing a specific need in their environment, setting them apart from others. True vision is tailor-made, revealing a future that ignites hope and serves as a divine assignment, offering a distinct perspective on a desired future state. Despite its lofty nature, vision remains feasible, inspiring confidence, trust, and dedication from others. The impact of vision. Vision isn't passive, it's dynamic, propelling leaders and groups forward, shaping missions and transforming lives. It refuses to settle for the status quo, demanding change and challenging individuals to break free from the norm. With vision comes self-discipline. It guides behavior and choices, steering individuals away from paths that diverge from their envisioned future. Vision instills a future-focused mindset, enabling individuals to remain steadfast on their journey despite distractions. Vision is inspired by a higher calling, infused with divine breath and purpose. It fills individuals with determination, driving them to pursue their goals relentlessly, even in the face of skepticism. Vision, when coupled with godly inspiration, propels leaders towards success, like David L. Stewart, whose unwavering vision and servant leadership led to remarkable achievements. What are you craving for lunch? One day, the Bahamas branch owner of McDonald's reached out, inviting me for lunch to seek some advice. Naturally, I anticipated a free McDonald's meal, given his ownership of the chain. As we drove, I assumed we were headed to McDonald's, but to my surprise, he veered towards Kentucky Fried Chicken instead. Curiosity piqued, I asked why we weren't dining at his own establishment. His response was simple: he had a craving for KFC today. This incident shed light on a profound truth: even the owner of McDonald's seeks out KFC when he desires something unique that only they can offer. It's a reminder that different visions cater to different needs. A Big Mac can't satisfy a craving for KFC, and vice versa. Just like McDonald's and KFC have distinct visions, each person's gifts and divine assignments serve a specific market. Not everyone is your target audience, and that's okay. In our organization, BFM International, we're known as the Leadership Organization, synonymous with concepts like leadership, purpose, destiny, and kingdom. We understand that our vision of transforming followers into leaders and agents of change attracts those seeking to develop their leadership potential worldwide. 16. Integrity, protecting your gift. Ensure your character matches your leadership abilities. Integrity, the cornerstone of character, signifies harmony within oneself. It acts as a guardian for leadership and a custodian for vision. Without integrity, successful leadership becomes unattainable. Recent years have highlighted the disappointment in leaders who falter, failing to uphold the standards they profess. Names like President Bill Clinton, televangelists Jimmy Swaggart and Jim Bakker, entrepreneur Martha Stewart, Enron Corporation executives, and more recently, megachurch leader Ted Haggard, remind us of leadership's fragility. Scandals in politics, religion, business, sports, entertainment, and medicine underscore the prevalence of leadership shortcomings. Consider the example of Queen Victoria, a statue in the heart of Nassau, Bahamas. Unmoving and unwavering, she has weathered storms, heat waves, and avian visits without flinching. Her enduring presence, despite external forces, teaches a profound lesson: the importance of character in leadership. Queen Victoria's steadfastness serves as a poignant reminder that leadership demands unwavering integrity. Aspiring leaders, like myself, glean invaluable lessons from her immovable stature, a testament to the indispensable role of character in effective leadership. Fissures in the foundation of integrity. In the annals of recorded history, amidst the progress of humanity and civilization, are scattered tales of remarkable individuals who ascended to positions of leadership and influence. They demonstrated skills, courage, expertise, and all the qualities we admire in leaders. Yet, many faltered in the realm of character, the most fundamental aspect of human experience. From biblical figures like Abraham to Solomon, numerous leaders succumbed to character flaws. Despite their prowess in leadership, they were undone by moral lapses, a common thread among them. The future of leadership hinges on a return to prioritizing character. Recent years have seen an emphasis on titles, power, and reputation over personal responsibility and integrity. We need leaders of character. Character, derived from the principles of being fixed, predictable, integral, and unchanging, signifies a cohesive self. It entails consistency in actions, words, and appearance, a seamless integration of one's identity. True character is revealed in private moments, when no eyes are upon us. Like Queen Victoria, who remains unchanged regardless of the time of day, genuine character transcends public perception. This steadfastness mirrors the unchanging nature of God Himself. His predictability and constancy are the bedrock of trust. As leaders aspire to emulate divine character, integrity must reclaim its position as the foremost priority. Cease from wrongdoing. I urge and counsel every leader who comes into my sphere of influence to embrace this crucial principle of leadership, one that safeguards life, vision, people, and purpose. Character stands as the fortress that shields your purpose and potential. May all leaders emulate Victoria, embodying the steadfastness of a statue that remains unswayed by external forces or inner voices, anchored firmly in the image of the Holy One who sculpted us. Here's sage advice for leaders from another luminary who upheld his character, Paul, the Apostle. He underscores the importance of this essential leadership trait, emphasizing the influence of company on character and the cultivation of resilience through suffering. It's noteworthy that character is forged through trials and tribulations. Face temptations and challenges with the poise of a statue, responding only to the divine sculptor. Make the development of character your primary focus. Among today's bold and visionary leaders whom I admire is Lee Iacocca, the corporate titan who revitalized Chrysler in the 1980s. His tenacity, revolutionary spirit, and servant leadership serve as inspiration for effecting positive change. You're right on schedule. Understand that you are not a happenstance. Your existence isn't a random occurrence but a deliberate design. You are so valued that God ordained your conception before time began. God timed your entry into this world precisely, aligning it with His vision and purpose. You're not just one in a million, you are uniquely chosen to fulfill a specific role in this generation. Your destiny is to impact your environment positively. Embrace your purpose with integrity. If you falter in character, you risk depriving future generations of your latent gifts. Despite facing opposition, remember that God's purpose will prevail. Your carriage is en route. When faced with adversity, maintain your integrity. Just as Joseph remained steadfast in the pit, trust that a rescue caravan is on its way to elevate you to your destined position. Your vision transcends your circumstances. Purpose outweighs the challenges you face. Hold fast to your integrity, it will guide you to your throne. Even when others underestimate you, know that greatness lies within you. Your leadership potential is yet to be fully revealed. Remain committed, focused, and steadfast in your journey. You are fulfilling your divine mandate with exemplary character. 17. Train, who will come after you? Leadership entails mentorship. Identifying, nurturing, training, and preparing future leaders is a fundamental responsibility. Imagine being promoted by your boss, only to be told on your first day in the new role that it's time to start grooming your successors. Initially, you might balk at the idea, feeling it's too soon or fearing competition. But true leadership means embracing this mandate. 1. Producing leaders, not followers. Genuine leaders don't just retain followers, they empower others to lead. 2. Belief in potential. Authentic leaders recognize leadership potential in everyone and create an environment for it to flourish. 3. Empowering others. Leaders help individuals discover their strengths, find their places, and develop their authority. This mirrors Jesus' approach. After fulfilling his mission, he entrusted his followers with carrying forward his message, demonstrating that servant leaders produce servant leaders. Leadership success is measured by the decreasing dependence of followers. The disciples, despite facing uncertainty after Jesus' crucifixion, ultimately stepped into leadership roles, ensuring the continuation of his mission. The essence of authority, as exemplified by Jesus, lies in releasing others into their purpose, not controlling them. Oppression stifles gifts and potential, hindering both the oppressed and the oppressor from benefiting fully. True authority liberates more authority, fostering a culture where self-centeredness gives way to service. Leadership is not about self-promotion or control, but about nurturing potential and serving others. It's about elevating others beyond oneself, recognizing the value in each individual's gifts, and fostering an environment where everyone's potential can thrive. The next generation. When individuals visit our organization in the Bahamas, they encounter a culture characterized by responsibility, self-motivation, and purpose among our staff. Our team members are enthusiastic and deeply driven. We invest significant effort in mentoring young people to cultivate leadership qualities. I firmly believe that instilling the principles of leadership in the youth ensures a secure future. The process of teaching leadership should ideally commence within families. It's crucial for parents to equip their children with the skills needed to step into leadership roles in the coming generations. The Kennedy family serves as a prime example of this. Despite enduring numerous losses over generations, they maintained a legacy of public service and leadership. In each era, someone from the family stepped up to carry on their tradition of leadership and influence. In my own experience raising children, Carissa and Charo, I incentivized them to read my books and encouraged them to aspire to leadership roles. Now, they are emerging as leaders in their own right. Both possess a compassionate nature, which I believe is a trait passed down through generations. My wife and I lead by example, teaching our children the value of serving others. I anticipate that they will surpass us in their commitment to serving others. My daughter, Carissa, has chosen a career in social work, demonstrating a remarkable empathy for people in need. Despite initially considering a career in medicine, she opted to work directly with communities, pursuing a doctorate and engaging in impactful work at a community organization in Texas. Similarly, my son, Charo, who is pursuing graduate studies in the United States, aims to enter the business world with a focus on using his resources to help others. It's essential to recognize that both men and women possess equal potential for leadership. While they may have different strengths, these differences do not denote superiority or inferiority. Each individual has unique gifts, and our approach to leadership development does not discriminate based on gender. Furthermore, we reject any form of leadership discrimination based on race. We believe in the inherent value of every human being, as illustrated by the analogy of the body in Corinthians. Leadership succession planning is often neglected, leading to conflicts and disruptions during transitions. Whether in developing or developed nations, the lack of preparation for leadership succession is evident across various sectors, including government, businesses, nonprofits, and religious institutions. The principles of leadership transfer. Transitioning leadership is a complex process, often marred by repeated mistakes due to a lack of understanding of the principles involved. 1. Leadership is transitory, no leader is permanent, as everyone eventually faces mortality. Therefore, leaders must recognize their temporary nature and plan for succession accordingly. 2. Generational perspective. Genuine leadership transcends one generation, aiming to serve both the present and future. God operates on a generational basis, and leaders should adopt a similar mindset. 3. Success with succession. Leadership success is incomplete without a viable successor. A leader's impact should outlive them, and part of their responsibility is to prepare and empower successors to continue their work. In essence, effective leadership extends beyond personal achievement to ensuring the continuity of vision and impact beyond one's lifetime. Leaders must prioritize succession planning to safeguard their legacy and ensure sustained progress. The last lesson. An ordinary leader employs others, but a true leader empowers them. In my company, I don't seek employees, I am forced employees. My goal is to foster an environment where individuals can unleash their talents and contribute them to the world. Instead of controlling people, I aspire to set them free. This is akin to Christ's message, where he essentially says, I have authority over everything, so go and unleash yours. Genuine leaders rejoice in the success of their followers. If you feel uneasy when those around you excel, you're not truly leading, you're likely manipulating, driven by insecurity. True leaders, aware of their temporary presence, prepare their successors diligently. Train your replacement thoroughly, imparting all your knowledge and wisdom, whether in leading a business or any other endeavor. Help them refine their unique gifts, different from yours. Never get complacent, it's time to groom your successors. Jesus exemplified this with Peter, instructing him to serve before leading, John 21 verse 17. Christ often led by example, demonstrating humility and service, as seen in his act of washing his disciples' feet. Leadership is about serving at every opportunity. Michael Jordan's dedication to his craft illustrates this. He became a legend not by seeking leadership but by serving his gift relentlessly. Are you a servant to your gift, ready to serve the world? Don't wait for a chance to lead, seize every opportunity to serve. Leaders do the little things themselves to prepare, gaining experience to guide the next generation effectively. Be a model of responsibility, serving your gift tirelessly, even in obscurity. When it's time to pass the baton, be like Jesus, asking, "Do you love me?" John 21 verses 15 to 17. True leadership is rooted in love and service, not fame or competence. So, love your calling, serve it faithfully, and when the time comes, entrust it to the next servant leader. In summary, authentic leaders understand and develop themselves based on their strengths and talents. Break free from external expectations and judgments. Learn from others but maintain their unique identity. Prioritize self-expression over validation. Measure success by how many they serve, not how many serve them. Guide others towards leadership instead of fostering dependence. Create environments where others can discover and fulfill their potential. Empower others instead of just employing them. Enable others to thrive in their own abilities. Recognize that true success includes preparing successors. Celebrate the success of those they've empowered to lead. Cultivate a culture of continuous leadership development. Embrace the principles of servant leadership. Understand that leadership is a calling, a sacrifice, and a gift. Recognize that leadership is about serving others, as taught by the wisest leader. Acknowledge that leadership is not a choice but a destiny. Realize that the world awaits their leadership. May they and their descendants continue to grow and be blessed by the divine. Let their lives be a testament to the praise of the Creator.